This machine right here costs about 15 grand. Now here's the thing, businesses are getting equipment exactly like this almost completely free, and they're doing it totally legally. Now, this isn't some weird tax loophole or some gray area tax hack that you don't really want to bring up with your accountant, right? These are legit government programs that the government actually wants you to use. So today, we're going to break down exactly how small manufacturers are turning tax incentives into real cash savings. Right now, small manufacturers have more opportunity than ever. The United States wants more production happening here, and that means more money for companies investing in themselves. If you're running a shop, even with just a few employees, making prototypes, production parts, or testing materials, then you have 3 tools that can make a huge difference. Section 179, the instant write-off, the R&D credit, getting paid to innovate, and the new 2025 updates that make both of those even better. Now, before we dive further into this video, I want to state that we are not tax advisors. We sell industrial equipment, and we're here to help our clients get the benefits of these tax incentives. So let's start with Section 179 in plain English. If you buy equipment and put it to use this year, then you can write it off this year. You don't have to wait for the 10-year depreciation cycle like there used to be and all that. If you buy it, put it to use, you can deduct it. So if you pick up a new printer, a mill, lathe, scanner, whatever, and put it to use before December 31st, then you can write off up to $1.25 million in equipment purchases for the year. Again, it doesn't matter if you paid cash or you financed it or anything like that. If it's for your business, then it qualifies. A lot of places, they're fully upgrading their equipment before the end of the year, and they're keeping more of their hard-earned cash in their own pocket. Let's do another example. Meet Titan Prototypes, a small shop out in Colorado, 4 employees, about $450K in annual revenue, and roughly $120,000 in taxable profit. They decide to invest $15,000 of that into a high-temperature 3D printer so they can start taking on aerospace work. Under Section 179, they can deduct that full $15,000 this year. At a 30% tax rate, that's $4,500 in savings. If they financed it, they're still saving that money while the machine's already making them money. That's the power of Section 179. Now, let's add the second piece, the R&D tax credit. Think it's just for tech companies and billion-dollar labs? Nope, not at all. If you're experimenting or you're improving a process or you're testing new materials, then you're doing R&D. Titan Prototypes spends time experimenting with carbon fiber nylon, tweaking settings to improve strength to weight ratios for an aerospace client. That's qualified research. The labor for that testing, all the wasted material, all the trial parts, it all counts. So now they pick up another $2 grand in credits. Combine that with their Section 179 savings, that's $4,500 plus $2,000, and Titan's total benefit hits about $6,500. That means their $15,000 machine effectively cost them $8,500 after tax incentives. That's how small businesses turn upgrades into a growth engine. It's not by cutting corners, but by using the same tools big manufacturers use every single day. So whether you've been around for 5 years or 5 months, you're getting rewarded for innovating. And if Titan isn't profitable yet, or maybe they're just getting started, they've still got options. Section 179 is a deduction. So if they don't have enough taxable income that year, then it'll just roll forward into the years that they do. Now, the R&D tax credit is where startups really win, right? So if they're already profitable, then they can apply the credit towards their taxable income. If they're not profitable yet, then they can actually apply this credit towards payroll taxes. Up to $500,000 a year. That's $500K in payroll taxes. So for a lot of companies, that'll be no payroll taxes. Either way, you're getting rewarded for improving processes, testing materials, and overall just generally innovating. 2025 is a pretty big year. The rules got a lot better and the timing is perfect. Just remember to claim it for this year. The equipment needs to be purchased and in service before December 31st. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about some bonus incentives because yes, some of these actually stack. So if you're working in clean energy or aerospace or advanced materials, then there are extra credits that you can layer on top of all the rest. First, Section 45X, the Advanced Manufacturing Production Credit. It rewards manufacturers producing qualifying US-made components or critical materials, which is a really big deal if you're feeding into clean energy or high-tech supply chains. And then there's Section 48C, the Advanced Energy Project Credit. That's for investing in facilities or equipment that support advanced energy or sustainable manufacturing projects. In some cases, it can cover up to 30% of qualifying investments. Let's not forget the states. Many of them have their own manufacturing and R&D breaks to stack on top of the federal programs. In California, manufacturers can get a partial sales and use tax exemption on machinery or equipment used primarily for manufacturing or R&D. Now that lowers your sales tax rate, sometimes from over 8% down to around 3.9% on the qualifying equipment. The state also offers the California Competes tax credit for companies adding jobs or expanding operations. In Texas, manufacturers can qualify for full sales tax exemption on machinery or replacement parts and even utilities used directly in production. That's state and local tax that you simply don't have to pay if the equipment is used for manufacturing tangible goods. So when we say stack your savings, we really mean you're taking the federal deductions, the federal credits, and the state exemptions and stacking those all up. So make sure when you're planning for your equipment purchases in 2025 or 2026 that you talk to your accountant to find out which exemptions and which incentives really apply to your business. And then when it comes to high-temp 3D printers, 3D scanners, or advanced materials, that's where we come in. That's where we've got your back. But let's help you make 2025 the year that you stop leaving all this federal cash on the table. So whether you're buying a 3D printer, a mill, a lathe, a 3D scanner, you name it, investing in your business is one of the ways you grow. Now, the tax code just makes that even easier. Here's the checklist. Number one, you gotta buy the equipment. Number two, you gotta put it to use before the end of the tax year you want to get the benefits on. Number three, you gotta track your activity, all the R&D activity and different things you do with it, and then talk to your accountant and find out which incentives you qualify for. Now, just whatever you do, don't let these incentives go unused. As one business owner to another, don't leave your hard-earned money on the table when you don't have to. It's not just an equipment purchase, you're literally building your future.